Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Uh, this is Group 1, LO2BO1. My name is Farah and my groupmate is Mama Ammar Hamimi, Muhammad Haziq and Nudin Shakila. And we choose TGV e-ticket for our computer application. For the introduction, the system that we chose used ArrayList data structure concept. This online system have operation that users can perform. Among the operation that can be done is that user can click on a button to buy tickets online anytime and anywhere as long as they get the internet connection on their devices. During the process, the user can either confirm their purchases or reset all the choices and redo them. The system will display any error message that occurs during the process of purchasing and ask user to do according to the system instruction. By the end of the purchasing process, the system will show the total price to the user.
Okay, for the next is how the application work. So for the first application is bought movie ticket, which is the system will summarize the total price for all the ticket purchase made by the user and display it in the system. Then after the user make the transaction based on the total price display, it will show the status of the transaction. If the user want to order another movie ticket, the system will loop again, and if not, it will end the process. And second application is order button. User able to make confirmation or cancellation of their ticket purchase. And third, reset button. User able to reset the progress of purchasing movie ticket and redo the ticket movie selection, including fill in the other requirement data. And fourth, display error message application, which is the system application will display an error message based on the mistake that done by users such as too many tickets selected, not enough seat with the selected number of ticket, duplicate selected seat and not select any seat. And lastly, for the application is return total price. The system application will generate a total price received in the system which user can see and keep it as their reference. Next, I will explain about the data organization and the storage pattern in the system. So, first of all, in the Cineba booking system, they use ArrayList as a operation. And what is ArrayList? ArrayList is Java support dynamic array and it is based on array data structure. Unlike built-in array, ArrayList are resizable, which mean they can grow and shrink dynamically as we add and remove element. The size of an array cannot be modified if you want to add or remove element or two from an array, you have to create a new one. And one element can be add and removed from array list wherever you want. So that is the difference of the array and array list. Okay, next, I will demonstrate how the um, operation in the array list. So first is add operation, which is uh, user need to add 55 in the data. So as we can see the element, we have 22, 34, 19 and 67. So for add a new data in the element, we need to use the code ArrayList integer list equal to new ArrayList integer bracket and list dot add 55. And next, for the operation is remove data in a release. So we need to remove 67 in the data. By default, to delete an element at the particular index, we may use the remove 67 method to specify the element we want to delete. And the first occurrence of the element will be removed. So in the operation, we need to remove 67 from the element. Then we need to use the code list.remove new integer 67 system out print line. Next is search data in the element. We need to search element 19. We can also specify the element that we want to search using the find object method, and the first occurrence of the element we'll be searching for. It's like a remove operation, but the code is the different. So we need to use list.find new integer 19 system out print line. And lastly, for the last operation in a release, we use update and change data. Update element 34 to 78. We can also specify the element that we want to update using the set object method, and the first occurrence of that element will be update for. Same thing like search and remove data, but for the update we need to use list.set, and then we need to state the index number is like a 2. We want to remove the 34, and then we need to state the index 2, a new integer 34 system out print line.
Now I will present about question 3, which is running time and estimation of the algorithm based on the chosen operation coding in the TGV ticket systems. Operation that has been chosen by our group is by ticket movie. Each line of the coding, our group has been identified and state that the efficiency of BO notation is 01, as you can see in the slide. We have put at the right, we put the efficiency of coding each line, so that it will be easy to identify and to calculate for the final answer. So to get the final answer, we calculate all the identified efficiency by plus all. After that, cut or ignore the constant in front of the notation. Like here, 11 is the constant, so we need to ignore or cut it, so that we will get the final answer is 01. The final answer is 01, so that the running time for the calculation is constant. So here the conclusion for the finding in question 3.1 is the efficiency of the coding for bus ticket movie operation is 01. It is because there's not contain any loop or other method that need to process step by step with follow the condition that has been set. It will make the system easy to run the coding operation with faster response to the user in short time. Based on the graph of BO notation above, shows that O1 have amazing performance for the efficiency of the algorithm with the low time complexity. The running time for the coding is constant, where it reflects from the result of the calculation gap. In conclusion, the time for the system to process the coding algorithm is fast compared to BO notation, O log n, efficiency, and above. So next, I will pass to Nina.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nudin Shakila, right? And I will present about the question number 4, which is the question is on top of the right slide. And this is for this, the number 4 is the code with output, which is the first one we use interface use. Just for the number 1 interface use is action listener. Just this, we already highlight the code. Then next is then the number 1 is order button operation, which is for order button operation. This is the code, and the get source is the meaning of the get source is for this is the method is used in the action perform method to determine which button was clicked. And supposedly you have many buttons in your application, so you can find which button is clicked by using the get source method. And the get source method returns the source of the event, which is for our TGV cinema. And the component that combines a button or editable field and for drop-down needs. And then for the integer pass in here for the toString, this is for toString method is used to return a string, which is representation of an object. And if any object is print, the toString method is internally invoked by the Java compiler. And then, yeah, this one also. And then this one is we also use loop in ArrayList data structure. And here here we repeat the code to get value for number of tickets. And then I continue with another slide, which is here the code create a boolean that went through carries out the database portion of this action event. And if boolean proceed, it will be false. And then alright, and then the system will call pop-out asking user if they want to restart the program for another transaction, which is when the user want to buy another ticket using another transaction, and then it will restart. And then next is reset button operation. For this operation, we also put the J option pane, which is yes, no option to get yes and yes and no buttons. And if no, it will stay on that page. If yes, it will reset the system. Or reset the page. Alright. And then before is display error message operation, which is here the message dialog are actually created with the J option pane. Show message dialog method. We call the static show message dialog method of the option pane to create a message dialog. Okay. So if there's error, if user tekan something button ke apa kan, and then it will display the error message. And this is the code. Alright. And the next one is return total price operation, which is this one for system to calculate the total price. And then here the code have the integer passed in, and the meaning of integer passed in is actually it is used to parse the string value, and the total price is string, so that's why we use string value as a signed decimal value, and it is used in Java for converting a string value to an integer by using the method passed in, right? And then this is the last code. It will return the total string. And the next one is conclusion, which is for the ArrayList. It is a customizable array implementation. We can dynamically add objects in the list. ArrayList use an object class array to store the object. By default, ArrayList creates an array of size. Then while initializing the array, we can specify the size of array. In short, ArrayList is more flexible than a plain native array because it's dynamic. It can grow itself when needed, which is not possible with the native array. But ArrayList also allows you to remove element which are not possible with native array. And that's all from me. And I hope we already did the best. And thank you. That's all from us.